it was an evolution. Because we both love working the earth, a farm just seemed to make sense to us.
We were running a restaurant at the time. We saw that there were 99 other restaurants in Greenwich, and there were no growers.
The more you talk to Steve, it really is an education in farming, because what he does is he uses a technique to maximize the amount of growth that he gets out of that small footprint of land.
Our farming, we use the French intensive method, so that means we're able to turn the beds 5 to 7 times a year. What that allows us to do is it allows us to grow, I believe, 5 times the amount of food.
We have 52 different varieties of plants.
And 1 acre.
1 acre.
We harvested over 60,000 pounds.
And this kind of agriculture is really hands-on. So the scale can be community and kind of like suburb scale. That can work on a half acre, it can work on 2 acres, modest acreage.
Over 100 years ago, if you'd driven around Greenwich, you would have found many, many farms raising all kinds of different crops. This farm is one of the great examples of entrepreneurial farming that's really taking over in the business of improving productivity in farming.
There is literally no locally grown food here in this giant metropolis. From a business point of view, it was a real easy decision. Just, gosh, let's fill a demand that is not there.
We have a tendency to prefer Asian greens, bok choy, pak choy, green onions, and a preference for our customers as well. We listen to what they're asking for, where their curiosity is.
I mean, all these herbs are just unbelievable. Shiitake mushrooms are maybe the best shiitake mushroom.
It's really something when you eat a shiitake mushroom from the Thai farms. The flavor's incredible, and knowing that it came from your backyard is just a comforting feeling that is priceless.
We try to play the hand of cards we're dealt. And the hand of cards we're dealt with is that we have about 7 acres of wetlands. We went back there, we put in some farm roads, and then we cut about 5,000 white oak logs, and then we drilled holes in them and we put shiitake mycelium in there, and then we stacked them up, put them on pallets, threw them back in the wetlands and forgot about them.
I was just amazed by the scope of it. I mean, really, it's just very impressive, all the amount of work that went into doing it.
Would you say you're surprised by the fact that a man in Greenwich, Connecticut decided to do that with his farm or his property?
I'm not surprised that a smart man in Greenwich did it.
So here we have one that is ready. As you can see, it's flat and it's completely unfolded. Here's one that is not ready. So this might be a size that you would see in the grocery store. That would be pretty average. But if you look underneath, see how it's still not completely folded out. So once they fold out, that's the size that they are. They don't grow like a plant, so it's got a predetermined size. And if you were to stop watering it at this point, then it would not fully open up and it would be dry.
Do you feel like people come to the farm stand specifically for the shiitake mushrooms?
Oh, they definitely do, yeah. There's really nothing like the fresh thing.
Farm to table, that expression encompasses a lot. And people like Steve and farms like Versailles, I think that those really do help us look at why the value of it and really the importance of our own health and how we eat.
It's not just the food itself, but let food be thy medicine.
It fulfills a local homegrown sense in your spirit. You know it's from where you live. So it's very comforting to know that you're eating food that's perfectly grown, organically, mindful of the environment, and it's in your own backyard.
There's no denying it that when you get a zucchini that's like this big, you realize that you're working with a farmer who does know what he's doing. And
really that big?
Oh yeah, they're enormous. As a matter of fact, we walked through the kitchen picking them up almost like we're going to hit you with it because it's enormous. They're big as a bat.
It's our hope, and why we're doing this is to set an example for others that they can do this. You can do this at home.
Steve and Ingrid are two of the nicest, most generous people I've ever met.
They want to teach people about the effects of eating great produce and what it's doing to your body, but it's not done in a forceful way at all. We've forgotten to teach our children these days on what real produce is. And I think we need to get back to the roots and actually start teaching our kids what they're putting into their bodies. And I think Steve is a great leader in doing that.
People like Mr. McMenamin and the farmers hopefully inspire more and more people to go and do what he is doing. It's not easy, believe me. It's not a hobby. It's a job.
The joy and happiness that is expressed by our customer is overwhelming. That is what motivates us to just get out there on the really hot days and be able to help people feel better.
The more of us, the 330 million Americans that are out there, the more that we do this, we can eat food that's nourishing. That's what we want to do. We want to get this to the next generation.